this isn't a smartphone, it's a tablet, the Xiaomi Pad 6, which was just released for global markets. For an Android tablet, it looks quite promising. I'm Will for GSM Arena, and let's see what the Xiaomi Pad 6 has to offer in our full review. We don't review tablets often on the channel, but the Xiaomi Pad 6 caught our eye with some enticing specs and a reasonable price tag. The Pad 6 has a straightforward design. There's an aluminum unibody with a matte finish, which feels nice, but does attract smudges quite easily. The tablet is quite thin and lightweight overall, and the flat edges provide a bit of extra grip. The front panel is protected by Gorilla Glass 3. This display is an 11-inch IPS LCD with a fast 144Hz refresh rate and a pixel density of 309 ppi. That's sharper than the previous model. Even though you don't get OLED tech on this device, the contrast is pretty good. You also get support for 10-bit color here, as well as Dolby Vision and HDR10 Plus video. There are plenty of color options to choose from, and you can achieve decent color accuracy. Another option is the adaptive color mode, which changes the white point temperature depending on the ambient light. The brightness of this display is solid, at least by tablet standards. We measured a little over 420 nits with the manual slider, and this can boost up to 500 nits in auto mode, a bit more than the Pad 5 model. The high refresh rate smooths out movements on screen, though in the UI itself it's limited to 120Hz, and it can dial down to 60 when idling to save energy. The full 144Hz is reserved for supported apps and games. For audio, the Xiaomi Pad 6 has 4 Dolby Atmos speakers, 2 on each of its shorter sides. The loudness here is very good, and the audio quality is quite good too, with nice vocals and some bass. I'll leave a link if you want to listen for yourself and compare to the previous model. One thing you don't get on the Xiaomi Pad 6 is a fingerprint reader. To unlock the device, you can use a PIN or enable 2D Face Unlock. And the tablet comes with either 128 or 256 gigs of storage, and that's not expandable through microSD. Let's talk a little bit about the optional accessories you can get with the Xiaomi Pad 6. For example, there's the stylus called a Smart Pen. It supports magnetic charging and is Bluetooth compatible. The stylus supports 4096 levels of pressure sensitivity and has 2 buttons on it for shortcuts. Too bad it isn't included with the regular retail package. Another useful accessory is the Xiaomi Pad 6 keyboard case, which snaps magnetically onto the tablet. It basically turns the Pad 6 into a sort of mini laptop, and is comfy to use. If you don't need a keyboard, the Xiaomi Pad 6 cover case provides both protection and a stand for the tablet. Now onto the Pad 6's interface. Much like any other recent Xiaomi device, it runs MIUI 14 on top of Android 13. There are a few extra features here though, specifically for tablets. At the bottom, you'll find a taskbar for quick shortcuts and recent apps. The task manager itself has been optimized for the big screen, and it shows a lot of app cards at once. From these cards, you can access options to open the apps into a split screen, or a floating window. With 2 apps open in split screen and up to 2 floating apps, that means you can multitask with up to 4 apps at once. Through the Features for Tablets menu in Settings, you can read about different gestures to use when multitasking. From this menu, you can also find options for connecting the tablet to a Xiaomi phone. And the Conference Tools option opens a specific sidebar for video calls. Otherwise, MIUI 14 is business as usual. You can find out more about its specific features in our dedicated video. The Xiaomi Pad 6 has a high-powered chipset, a Snapdragon 870, which has often been found in the flagship killer-style smartphones. The benchmark performance here isn't chart-topping, but is respectable. There's enough power here for a smooth UI and multitasking experience, as well as breezy gaming. Plus, the Xiaomi Pad 6's thermal management is excellent. We observed hardly any thermal throttling during our prolonged stress test. There is no cellular connectivity on the Pad 6, which you do find on some rivals. There is support for Wi-Fi 6 though. The Xiaomi Pad 6 has an 8840 mAh battery, and the battery life is good. We measured 11.5 hours of screen on time when web browsing, and 12.5 hours when playing back videos. There's support for 33-watt wired charging. With the bundled adapter, we were able to charge the Pad 6 from 0 to 38% in half an hour, better than what the Pad 5 could achieve. Unlike what we see on smartphones these days, the Xiaomi Pad 6 has just one 13-megapixel camera on the back. It's no slouch when it comes to performance though. The daylight photos we shot with this camera are excellent, with plenty of detail, low noise, high contrast, accurate colors, and wide dynamic range. Nighttime photos are quite good too. 4K video captured from the rear camera is detailed and colorful, with good contrast and wide dynamic range. The rendition is balanced and natural looking. Now we have the 8-megapixel front-facing cam. Selfie videos come out in 1080p resolution, and they have a passable amount of detail and good exposure, colors, and contrast. Still photos taken with the selfie cam turned out good, with nice detail and contrast, wide dynamic range, and lively colors. So that's the Xiaomi Pad 6. It's a really nice package overall, with a compact aluminum design, a high-res and high refresh rate display, nice stereo speakers, good cameras, and a smooth user experience. On top of that, the price is quite reasonable too. And if you do want to spend a bit more money, there are some nice accessories to choose from. So if you're looking for an Android tablet with plenty of bang for your buck, the Xiaomi Pad 6 is worth recommending. Thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you on the next one.